Alright, hello Longwood YouTube family. This is going to be week 2, video 1, where we actually begin our lessons. And this is our handsome Mr. Aiden Burke. And today we're going to craft our lesson around one of his non-fiction, guys, that means it's true, non-fiction basketball books, his topic of choice, basketball. Show us the book, please, Aiden Burke.
I picked the Winning Basketball for Girls because I've seen many teams, even Central, girls play. So I thought,
Best team in the world. Notice the shirt.
yes. So I picked it because I mostly seen, hit as I said before, Central. So that's why I picked it up.
Okay. Now, I went ahead and said it was a non-fiction book.
AKA non-fic.
Aiden, can you find the author of this book?
Sure. It is. Hold on.
See, and we're going to look for the book and find the name of the author. You may have looked right past it, Aiden. Look where your right hand is.
Okay. Now, the author is Faye Young Miller and Wayne Coffey.
Okay. Another shout out to the Central High School librarians for getting us some more books on grade level. All right. So, what we're going to do with this grade level being based off as WRI from the last installments, what we're going to do is we're going to break this thing down to 3 separate sections, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about before reading, strategies that we're going to do. During reading, what we're going to do, we're going to have Aiden Burke read a little bit. And then after reading, the things that we can do to extend the reading afterwards. So, Aiden, before we start, all right, this is an easy question, but just help my professor see what a stellar teacher I am.
Sorry?
Not really. But what do you think this book's going to be about?
Well, Dad, I'm sorry.
You can call me Dad.
It will be mostly about how to get started for the game. Show what show what pro teams, and show some show pictures of girls that could be professional or could be kind of better than NBA.
Well, speaking of the NBA, what's your favorite team in the NBA, Aiden?
Well, can I give you 2?
You can give me 2.
I like the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Los Angeles Lakers.
2 awesome teams. What makes you like either one of those teams, Aiden?
Because I've been watching both of them on the the sports channel, and I've seen those two teams that can like play very good. They're like Nike, just do it.
There you go. All right, and Aiden, I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of the things we wanted to talk about was making connections to what you already know, and you've done that for us.
Yes.
And what are some of the things you already know? All right. So imagine if somebody didn't like reading. You're a great reader and you love to read.
Yes.
So if somebody else didn't like reading and they're used to seeing basketball on TV, you got the Final Four going on now and NBA and stuff like that.
Like the Sweet 16?
Exactly. Sweet 16. Shout out to Colin Burke. He's on our videographer today if you want to take the night off. But people that already know about basketball of TV and the internet, they might get connected to books. Show us the front of this book again.
Yes, sir. As we can see the title, winning basketball for girls.
Plus there's girls in there, and we all like girls, right? They're pretty and they smell good. All right. So we've successfully set the purpose for the reading, set the scene.
Yes.
And Aiden Burke, ahead of time, wrote out some vocabulary necessary for understanding basketball. We're going to zoom in on this sheet. Some of those words.
I have a vocabulary word.
Just give us a vocabulary word. Save the questions for later. Okay. What are your vocabulary words there, Aiden Burke?
Okay, we have teams, a basketball, shots, jerseys, hoops, nets, team logo, and dunks.
Okay. All right. Those are Aiden's vocabulary words that he thinks that we're going to need to know, and he thinks we're going to run into when we read this Winning Basketball for Girls. All right. And this is another reminder that we're going to have to use some context clues to help us understand some of the vocabulary words, because not everybody's going to understand these words quite as well. Okay? So, Aiden, pick out a section that you want us to read, a couple pages together, and I'll video that, and we'll talk about some of the things that we need to do.
Okay.
All right? Now, YouTube family, while Aiden's finding the appropriate section, this is just for demonstration and modeling purposes. The questions that I would ask as a teacher, such as main idea, purpose, characters, and setting. These are all great ideas for what to do, and I'm reading things off of lesson plans that I will submit to Dr. Blanchette, ASA please. Now, it looks like we got a chapter 3. What is that, Aiden?
Can you help me with this word?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, see what he had a little frustration with that word, high level word?
I couldn't pronounce it.
All right. Preparation.
Okay, preparation for success. Getting in shape.
There we go. All right. Aiden, read us a couple pages off that, and we'll talk about that as we go along.
Yes, sir.
Shout off loud and proud, son.
Okay.
You're doing a great job.
Basketball is a game of transition that demands nearly constitution. Wait, is that right? Is that constitution?
All right. Continuous.
Continuous motion from all 10 players on the court during the course of a typical game. You will continuously start, stop, jump, change directions, and change speed at the final buzzer. You will have to run nearly 3 miles, virtually all of it in quick, demanding bursts. Conditioning enabled the best players to play the last minute as hard as they played the first. You must be good in physical condition to play basketball. There's no way around it. If you're not good, in good shape, the game won't be as much fun because you won't be as effective. The better conditioned team will typically win a close game. Good conditioning enables you to recover more quickly and helps you to maintain proper form even when you're tired. A well-conditioned player is
I think you're doing a great job.
Convicted in the fourth quarter or late second half. There is no better feeling than the one you get when you see your opponent bent over gasping for air, when you feel as though the game is just beginning. Can you help me with this?
I sure can. I'm
This
glad you
word
asked.
here?
Phenomenon. That's a hard word.
Phenomenon known as catching your second wind is nothing more than the feeling you'll get late in the game when you conditioning enables you to play at a high level while your opponents seem to. We'll read to this page.
Sounds great.
Okay. B. Slowing down, missing shots, and making bad passes. Good conditioning also lenses the likelihood of some injuries and speed recovery when you do get hurt. Okay. In order to play well, you must condition well. Conditioning your body is challenging. It requires consistency and dedication. There are no shortcuts for most athletes. Training 2 or 3 days per week is sufficient. Can you help me with that?
See, that's a hard word too. Sufficient.
Sufficient to prepare their bodies for their demands to intense competition. Conditioning is the process of preparing your cardiorespiratory heart and lungs and musculoskeletal.
That's a hard word. You know what? You did a really great job of stopping and breaking that down and pronouncing it exactly right. It's a good job.
I said muscle skeletal.
Well, that's what it is. It's about your muscles attached to your skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. Let me continue. Muscles and tendons and bones systems. In this chapter, we will describe specific ways to make you a better basketball player by improving your strength, endurance, agility, and speed. We begin with some basic ideas about caring for your hands and feet.
All right, that's a great job, Aiden. You know what? Good job. Way to read. We can put this in your home reading log. And I want to go back and talk about a couple things from there that just jumped out at me as you read. All right? Your stamina to read. Good job. You had some hard words and some adversity, and you kept fighting. You kept going through and doing a good job. All right? You started using your ink pen to track your words.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Left to right. Exactly right that you needed to do. Okay? You didn't give up. And two of those words that were difficult. Phenomenon. All right.
And
Skeletor.
I'll go back and get that.
And the other word was
musculoskeletal right there.
there was another word that was hard for you. Consistency.
No.
Sufficient. All right.
I thought
You
it was
weren't sure at
substance.
first, and we're going to beat the drum for the context clues.
Mhm.
You use your context clues and your teacher, which that's what we're here for,
Yes.
to figure out what we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we read together.
Mhm.
You did most of the work there.
Yes.
Okay? And while we read, what do you think was the main idea of the part that you read?
How to, like what I just read.
The part you just read?
Well,
Just a small part.
that is a great question. It's about how to get ready before you start playing the actual game.
That's exactly right. Okay? Now I don't coach basketball anymore,
Yes.
but the sports that I coach, where do I spend a lot of my time with the players?
Well, most of the
During
time
practice.
You do. Can I give you two examples?
Exactly. You can give me two.
Football field, the bottom football field,
Mm-hmm.
and the weight room.
Exactly. The weight room. See, we're going to connect to something else you know. The weight room, a lot of times, is where you and your brother get dropped off,
Yes.
but I'm putting in work there because we're preparing our athletes for success.
Yes.
Okay? And the last thing we're going to do, you've been really patient with me,
Yes, sir.
all right? Go back to those questions that you created,
Yes.
okay? You made two questions before we started. And what were those
Um,
two questions you made?
Well, as Dad said, what is the main idea? I have that. I didn't mean to copy him. I didn't.
Great
see
minds
how
think
to
alike. Okay.
And that was my first question, number one. And my second question, what is the purpose?
Okay. Now, how about, we haven't read the whole book yet.
Yes.
We're going to work on that some more.
Yes.
All right. But if you look at the cover, look at the front cover, look at the book, look at the pictures. What do we think is going to be the purpose of this book?
That they will see how you will know how to get your body ready and how to learn these moves.
Because what do they want to do? What is this book all
They
about?
want to prepare for everything.
There you go. Excellent job. All right. Burks out. YouTube family, we'll see you next time.